So I received an email today from a nun that apparently subscribed to my newsletter. I don't know when she did or how she did or why she did. However, I had sent out a newsletter, which is a monthly newsletter, and I talked about, I was thanking actually some people helping me get my Tarot Master Certification and working on that and helping me practicing on them. I've done tarot readings for years already on occasion. Just wanted to really dive deeper into it and learn more about it. But anyways, the one thing that tends to come up, which is kind of like a surefire thing that is going to come up if you're doing tarot readings, but you have angel in your website's name or in your name in any way. So she was wondering how that I could be doing both, believe in tarot cards and at the same time have angel in my name or whatever, because it's contradictory in her mind. Well, I explained to her that angels are non-denominational. So that means that they do not belong to one specific religion or spiritual path solely or only, but that they belong to anything and everything in this world that has experienced angels. I told her that I've experienced angels myself, and that I remembered speaking to angels when I was just a toddler, and that they have protected me, during my whole life, which is wonderful, which I wasn't always aware of. And I remembered much later when I was older that I had these experiences in the past. And then I remembered that even other people knew about me talking about angels when I was just a little kid. And they never brought it up for whatever reason. They didn't really want to bring it up. So anyways, they're non-denominational, and I have remembered angels in my life, and I have a memory of an angelic being blending with me when I went through my near-death experience when I was just 4 or 5 years old at the time. So I feel that there is an actual angelic being inside me. I don't know if she's actually me or if she's sort of blended with me. I just know that when I do Reiki on somebody, that there's wings coming out of my back, sort of protecting my client. And I've seen wings coming out of my back since I was very little. So I feel she's sort of blended with me. She even has the same name as I do, which is very interesting. That's also a story maybe one day I will tell about why I know that and how I remember that. But anyways, that's how it is. It's not, does it mean that you can't do tarot readings? I don't subscribe to any specific kind of belief. I grew up as a Protestant, not Catholic. We weren't Catholic. My father was Catholic, but my mother was evangelic, Protestantic, if I'm saying this right in English. And that was my belief. My grandmother believed in angels. She would tell me about the archangels when I was very little. I think she knew that I was in danger, so she was telling me a little bit about them. And and then when I grew up, I forgot about all of these experiences, and I didn't remember them until I moved here into the angel house, which I felt spiritually, psychically guided to buy this specific house. And the angels reappeared into my life at the time. They helped me remember. Most likely the reason why I remember my trauma is because I was in this house by myself, and I felt safe to be here, and I felt safe to access that part of my life or part of my memory that I didn't feel safe about before. And so I've had these first-person spiritual experiences with angelic beings and angelic guidance in my life. So and angels are the voices of God, so they're an extension of God, so to speak, here to guide us, here to help us remember who we are, and also so that we can step into our life purpose and understand why we are here at this time, and what we can contribute into this world and leave behind for the next people that are here to come. And so this is why spiritual awakenings are so important, because spiritual awakenings will help you remember who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. If you're going to be doing readings or not, doesn't really matter. You may be doing them, you might not be doing them, right? But there's usually some kind of other life purpose. Currently I'm writing on that book that I'm meant to write, about the remembering trauma and what it's like to experience what I've experienced, and how I found out that I was severely traumatized over 18 years as a kid, and how I remembered, how I found the clues, how I put the clues together, and some of the things I remember. I can't really talk about everything because some of it is very shocking, and I don't want people to turn away from reading my book in disgust, and it's hard for me to even talk about what happened. Still struggle with it sometimes, so I might not share every juicy detail because it's not really juicy, it's disgusting, but I would like to share about my spiritual experiences, because those experiences helped me to believe in myself. And it helped me to remember that I was not alone in all of these experiences, that there was something there helping me, guiding me, protecting me, so that I could become an adult and arrive in this place today where I'm at now at 44 years old, in the angel house, doing what I'm doing, becoming who I'm meant to become. And that this was all part of a greater spiritual plan to get me to this place. And I really truly believe that. I mean, I've received so much confirmation, evidence, validation about the things I remember and the things I know. I mean, some of the stuff I experienced was literally magical. It was absolutely insane. That this actually happened to me. And the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I always said, I just want to have a magical life, and actually received a magical life, and which is really cool, that this actually became, in a way, the way that I couldn't even imagine that it would be like this. But just knowing that there's something greater than me that has my back, that supports me, even if nobody else supports me. So if you feel like, nobody's supporting you in your life, nobody sees you, nobody cares about you, nobody hears you when you talk about the most difficult things in your life, maybe you've been gaslit over and over in your life, maybe you've been traumatized, there is something there with you that is always going to have your back. No matter what happens, it will always support you. It will always guide you, and it's really just a matter of you learning to be still and tuning into that to help you understand. When you feel that you are supported, it is much more likely that you're going to move forward with your life, right? It is when we feel that we're all alone and there's nothing to hold on to or grab on to, there's no hope, no nothing, is when often we spiral downwards. So I think that, considering what I've been experiencing, I feel that if I didn't have this angelic presence in my life since I was very little, I knew they were there. I was a toddler when I started talking about it. And without that, it would have been very, very difficult for me to go through what I went through and to come out of it alive. And so, I mean, my faith is very deep. My faith comes from personal experience and personal evidence, and not from indoctrination and taught beliefs from religions and other people. This is why, you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. It's not my fucking business what other people think and believe about reality or their religion or their lives or whatever. That's their business, not my business. But this is never the way that I'm going to look at it, because I think, for me personally, my personal evidence, my personal experiences go above and beyond anything that anybody ever has taught you or me, or any of the indoctrinations when it comes to religions that's out there. It goes above and beyond. So there it is. That's my answer to that one. So